tea? Or a coffee? Yeah, it's all good. Thank you.
What's up, fight fans? Matt Tucker here with the great and powerful Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, crazy fight, man. Ryan had his number. Talk to us about the fight. What'd you see in that fight?
Yeah, I saw a composed Ryan. I saw a focused Ryan. I saw a Ryan that knew he had to win. So therefore we saw a complete Ryan. We saw a Ryan that was well trained, that was determined to win that world title. And at times, when you throw those combinations and he lands, he was getting a little reckless. So it's like, hey, just get your composure, go back to your jab, have fun. That's exactly what he was doing. The speed was too much for him.
I saw you yelling, jab, jab, jab.
Yeah. That's the key, man. The jab is the key for every fighter. I mean, it's. I would love to see more jabs in the game today, but once those fighters throw jabs, double, triple jab, there's no way of blocking them. Then you follow up with your combinations, then go back to the jab. It's a thinking man's game. And if you stick to your game plan, you're gonna come out victorious.
Dropped him in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What was going through your head when that happened?
I was not surprised that he got up. Barrios is a tough son of a gun. And I knew that if he went down, and I told Holly as well, this is gonna be a long fight. Once he got back up, I knew that once you get hit, when you're a fighter, you get hit, you go down, you warm up. Your body warms up, your chin becomes granite. And that's exactly what happened with the Barrios. That's why the fight lasted 12 rounds. He's a tough guy.
You mentioned it's a thinking man game, and you just say what you say. Do you think that kind of just set the tone for the rest of the fight?
Yeah, it set the tone right from the first bell. Ryan was more composed. He was landing the cleaner shots. It was a master class. I have to give it up to him. I think Ryan grew exponentially tonight, beating a world champion, taking that world title. Now imagine how he's going to look in his next fight. A fighter builds from a great performance like this one. So wait and see. The next performance will be even better.
Ryan, Oscar, apologies if you've already been asked about these two opponents, but what do you think a fight with Shakur Stevenson looks like? They talked about fighting each other next. What do you think that fight would look like?
I love the fight. I mean, look, there's so many options there for Ryan now. Everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to dethrone the pretty boy, and now that he has a world title, everybody's after him. So yeah, I think it's a matter of just regrouping, let Ryan rest, and he'll make his decision once he's ready.
As someone who has promoted him for quite so long, how proud of you?
I can't stop smiling, man. I'm so proud of him because it's his first world title, and I know what it means to a young fighter winning a first world title. So I'm extremely proud of him.
And you said you were 100%, 1,000,000% on Thursday confident that he would win. Why did you have that confidence?
I think that when I first saw Ryan like 2.5 months ago, when we announced or before he started training for the fight, I saw something in his eyes, that he was focused, that his demeanor was serious, and just little movements. When you study a fighter, in his eyes how he moves, how he talks, I study all that. And I'm a historian. I love boxing, and so when I saw that, I said, okay, this guy's locked in.
Oscar, I know it's kind of ambiguous. Like you said, you still have Ryan going forward.
Yeah.
He says he's kind of a free agent. We hear things like for 2 more fights, you may have at least something to do with whatever he will decide to do next. Do you think Zuffa or other promoters are gonna try to make a play for him, since he, in his words, is kind of a free agent?
Well, we do have him for a few more fights, so I'm still promoting him. And whatever he decides after our contract is over, then that's his decision. I can get him to the world title. I can help him and guide his career and get him the right opponents. And then whatever happens after that, it's up to the fighter. I have no say whatsoever.
Do you think Devin Haney is next in all likelihood?
I would like to see that fight, actually, with Devin Haney. I think that'll be more exciting than them fighting in New York last year. It'll be a big matchup. bigger than the first time around. It'll be huge here in Las Vegas, so I would love to see that.
How different does it look a second time around?
Wow.
Does Haney look better against Norman? He looked better tonight.
Yeah, Ryan looked better against a really solid champion. Devin's Devin. He's fast. He's strong. He has that will to win. You know, I mean, you saw in Ryan's fight with Devin. Devin got back off the canvas. I mean, he's got a big heart, a lion's heart. So you have to give it up to him. A rematch would be, yeah, pretty exciting.
Speaking of rematches, man, Rolly Romero, you know, we know how important it is to avenge your loss. And Ryan, you know,
Sure.
How does that look? Is that something that's a possibility?
It's a possibility. I mean, anything's a possibility. I think Ryan now, you know, boxing is funny. It's like, you know, you're as good as your last fight. That's what boxing is. Ryan looked great. He's on top of the world with a world title. He's got a target on his back. Everybody wants to fight him. So he has fighters to choose from now. So whatever he decides.
Do you think that he has some vengeance in his heart against Joe in this fight?
I saw that in the last rounds where Joe was yelling, and then Ryan kept on looking to the corner. I said, man, stay focused. You're not fighting Joe. Stay focused. Stick to the game plan. Have fun. Use your jab. He did great.
With all the turmoil going on right now in boxing, specifically the WBC, what does it mean to you to see one of your fighters wearing that green belt, the same one you wore?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you and just the sport in general?
Yeah, no, it makes me proud. You know, it makes me proud that me as a fighter fighting for the WBC and now a promoter guiding these careers, these kids' careers into world titles and fighting for the green belt. It means everything. It's I know it's a dream come true for Ryan, and literally for me as a promoter now, it's like a dream come true for me to see these young kids win world titles just like I did. So it's pretty cool.
But outside the main event, unfortunately, we couldn't see Richardson Hitchins and Oscar Duarte.
Yeah, pretty disappointing, man.
And what's going to happen, or you guys?
We'll go back to the drawing board. We're going to talk to the IBF. I feel that, not that it's sketchy, but it's like, how do you get food poisoning the day of, 2-3 hours before the fight? I just do not understand it. I mean, I had food poisoning the night before when I fought Shane Mosley the first time, and I still went through the fight. So I don't understand. I thought food poisoning kicks in between 2 hours and 5 hours, you know, after you get the poisoning, right? So I don't know. I call it nerves. I really do, because when you're on the big stage and you're ready to fight in front of the bright lights, man, those nerves kick in, and you start to like feel nervous and not scared, but you start to tremble, and then, you know, maybe he just couldn't take it mentally. It was too big of a stage for him. We'll see. I think there has to be an investigation done.
Oscar, back to the Virgil Ortiz situation. I know you called him ungrateful earlier today at Benavides Zerto. His dad on Twitter didn't like that. You know, said his comments about that. Rick Marigian, of course, chimed in too. And do you feel like those comments make it to where it's irreparable between you and Virgil Ortiz Jr. kind of thing?
I haven't heard from Virgil Ortiz. I don't even know if he knows what's going on. Seriously. Virgil Ortiz in December did an interview saying how grateful he is and how I took him to the top and I've never done him wrong, and then his father texts me during Christmas, you know, thank you very much for everything. So I'm blindsided by this. So, you know, we're gonna do what we have to do to protect our rights and take it from there.
What would you say to people who feel like, you know, saying, hey, promoters, we're here to stay, fighters come and go? I do think you were just saying what all promoters think. You were just honest enough to actually say it.
Of course.
But what do you think when people say, well, that's callous, that's throwing the fighters under the bus, that's a little Dana White-ish of you, for example? What's your response to that?
Well, what I say to that is that I'm not going to be disrespected anymore. Enough of that. Enough of the golden boy bullshit, you know? Enough of the Mr. Nice Guy, this and that. No, I'm going to protect my rights. I'm going to do what's correct. I'm not in the wrong. I say the truth. You watch Clapback, it's nothing but facts. So if I was in the wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it. Holly knows I don't even lie to her. Not a single bit, right, Bubba? Not one bit.
Oscar,
It's all the facts.
Well, lastly with Ryan,
Can you
no-
shout out TDN Clothing?
No.
What? Shout out TDN Clothing.
Wait, nobody's paying me.
lastly with
TDN Clothing.
TDN Clothing, what's up? Yeah.
Lastly, with Ryan, you know, he was coming off a loss to Rolly, and then the Haney fight was marred in controversy. He got suspended for a year over the Oscar and everything. Do you think tonight went a measure in helping his reputation, you know, in winning his first title and all that kind of stuff?
Well, look, in boxing, you're as good as your last fight. That's it. When you win a world title, everybody just forgets, you know, your past fight. Everybody forgets about the past. And it's pretty interesting how boxing works. You know, you win a world title and off to the next one, man, you know. So, look, I think that Ryan is now laser focused. He's determined to win even more world titles, become a legend, become that star that we all know he can be. So this is just the beginning.
Oscar,
Thanks, brother.
The car is waiting. The car waiting outside.